was about to say good morning. It is not morning time, but it feels like morning time. This video is about your self-value. It only ever matters how you think about yourself. And it's so easy to say until you are tested and in a situation where now you have to decide if someone's words or actions towards you define your experience and your value and your worth and who you are. And it's like only then can you come to terms with, is that really your lifestyle? Is that really what you were all about? And I feel like I have done so much self-care and self-love work that maybe I had gotten away from a gauge to measure how good I was doing, because again, I'm very protective with my energy now. I don't go into circles and spaces where I'm debating. I have to be in the defense mode. I have to explain myself or to even within my workspace and healthcare, and people talk, people want to connect with you, people want to share, but I don't let it get there. I'm very, and it's not a thing of being not like we're not gonna talk about me kind of thing, or like don't get in my business. But it's just like 9 times out of 10 people want to talk about themselves anyway. So if you position yourself to be a listener, it's just like, it's not even a big deal. It doesn't really ruffle my feathers. It doesn't really, throw me off my rocker and make me feel like, oh, someone is making some assumption or generalization about me. I did make one video about how it was a little unsettling to hear the negative advice behind, say, dating single mothers and women in their 30s, and how there were all these issues. But also too, after I made that video, I was thinking back on like, well, who the hell is saying this stuff? Because we really had to keep it real. The men that were making these remarks and making these journal sweeping statements, I wouldn't give them two seconds. Hi and bye, thank you, sir, for holding the door, if you even roll like that, you know what I mean? But these aren't the type of men that I'm even concerned about. So like, I'm not gonna, okay, that's their opinion, and they're also bums. They get on the, they get behind the camera. They have these little self-made podiums out of, shoe boxes, all their Nikes, and they're like, listen to me. But what do you have? Who are you? What do you, now, again, I'm not trying to take away their value, blah, 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 and say that everyone's got imposter syndrome and, who are you to have an opinion? No, but when you look at people that are really about that life and have something, they're not doing certain things. They don't have to prove anything to you. They're not dressed in a certain way. They're not in certain circles. They're not even saying certain things and like in somebody's comments or making YouTube videos about what gives them the authority. They just move like that. They just live like that quietly. A certain generation and status of people, I'm not even going to say men, people aren't even on social media trying to tell anybody anyway. They're just minding their own business, minding the business that pays them. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would they waste their time trying to convince? Look, money talks. Money talks. Value and class and all these things distinguish people. So when you get into a room and it's a lot of different strong personalities and opinions, and you start feeling yourself shrink, because I had to do this. I was like, now I need to slow down and think about the words that are about to fly out my mouth. And then I was like, wait, do I sound selfish? Do I sound bitchy? Do I sound like, damn, like just cutthroat right now? Because I have put myself in a place where it's like, no one takes care of me but me. And when I say that, like, do you pay my bills? Do you fund my lifestyle? Have you ever given anything to me that I would even owe you the courtesy of listening to any kind of thought process that you have? The answer is typically no. These people don't even know what time it is half the time. So, you have to be very careful how you find yourself, eyebrow twitching, like, what the hell is going on here? That's what you think, that's what you believe, but who are you? After this moment, you're going to go that way, and I'm definitely going over here to what I got, to what I've worked for, to what I have established, what I have created, what I have manifested, what I have, given myself and my children. Because some people want to look at like, so who do you take care of? What kind of responsibilities do you have? Like, oh, that's right, it's just you. And you still can't get it right. Other people, you're like, okay, well, how's that turn out for you? If you're such an expert, let's see some receipts. Because in this moment, I'm not shoveling anything down your throat about my ideologies, about my life, about my lessons learned, about my anything. But people love to take it there. And it's like, it's really interesting because like, you're ballsy. But you don't want to be the one to give your power away and stoop to that level and get offended, get emotional, blah, 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 spill your guts and be like, you could just come forward and be like, that's an interesting perspective. And then you throw it back in their court. So you can calmly just say, since you're such an expert, how did that turn out in your life? You know what I mean? Like, oh, whatever. You can think of little witty ways to just kind of like, let's take the spotlight off of me, right, for a second, since you want to take it there. And it's not to be conniving, but it's just, again, to protect, because I know one thing, I came away feeling so drained, and I have never felt an energy drain like that before. It was very surprising. It was very like, Now, does that make me weak? Does that make me think that my defenses are down and blah, blah, blah? I don't think my defenses were up because I don't typically have to be in a space where I have to protect myself like that actively. I can say I'm no nonsense and I don't tolerate certain things, and so it is. So if I am talking to someone or actively dating and I'm, checking the temperature of people, or I'm maybe, thinking about forming new friendships or collaborations, or there's a new coworker and there's someone I have to train at work or whatever, it's like you can just look at me and check my temperature and know, okay, this is not going to fly. And it's okay. It's okay. Autumn, you ready? You sure? Okay. So we're getting ready to go, but I just wanted to share that because there's always going to be someone, something, some ideology, some kind of like, oh, our generation, the times, politics, different movements, different identities, different hashtags, different groups, different religious affiliations, different parts, pieces of spirituality. All these things may try to label you, title you, and put you in a box, but only you and people, their opinions, their experiences, their first impression of you, or how they think they're reading you, and how they look at your children, how the vibe that they think they're getting from you. None of that matters. None of those things matter if you know to your core and you tell yourself in your private time, in your sacred space, because your home is your sanctuary in this crazy world. When you go out there, when you come home, you need to be able to recharge. I couldn't wait to get home and recharge, but I have all the things to do that. I have made sure that my home is a total embodiment of me. I'm not detached. I'm not like out here just feeling willy-nilly. I can retreat and go in and like, yes, I can be me. I am me. My children have what they need. This is my space. This is my home. Home is where the heart is. All these things layer our experience, even though we are mothers and right now, things are still in the making of bettering ourselves and calling forth the lives that we really want. Because we can always improve. But when you can recharge and go within yourself, I had a point. You are then able to remind yourself and know that you know yourself You know that you know that you know your truth. You know that you know that you know your intentions, your values, your concepts. And let's take it a step further, because I came from a place of starting this story with people that are acquaintances and, different. We're not so close. So let's get closer. Let's say you have a partner who walks out your life. Let's say you have a friend that walks out your life. Let's say you have a door that closes with some type of any kind of human connection. And it may and can lead you to wonder, what's wrong with me? And there may be some things that you could have done better. We can all work on communication. We can all work on being vulnerable. We can all work on being open and honest and all these things. But do you know who you are? And can you say, I do know how I showed up and I do know the good that I did. So that's on them. So now it is your loss, and that is okay, because you're not taking any pieces of me with you. So now, therefore, my life goes on, whether you're here or not. Can you make that determination for yourself? Can you make that declaration? Can you stand in who you are? No matter what it is, different industries, different jobs that you've had to do, different things that you've had to do to get what you got and become who you are. All these things can shape us, but are you going to let them shape you and define you? They can, but they don't have to. Someone's thought, someone's opinion. Well, in my experience, I've seen you just have to be careful. Well, who are you? And where is this coming from? Are you coming from a place of, just consider this from a loving place of advice? Or are you maybe somehow trying to hold me back because you just don't know? Or you're just so wrapped up in yourself? Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. There's a balance to everything, and we still have to know who we are. And we have to be strong in that. And we have to love ourselves, love our strengths, and really pour our own cup of worth. Pour our own cup of knowledge. Not in a bitchy way, not in a I'm better than everybody else way, but just in a secure way. Because if not, you will always be depleted, and you will come from spaces and connections and anything and be like, damn, I don't know what the heck I even think about myself if every time I step out of my front door, I am bombarded by labels, titles, and boxes that I don't fit in. But yet I've been pushed into, and that's not me. And the respect will come. I'm not saying you'll never, once you make up your mind of what your values are, then you'll never come into any kind of conflict. That's not true. That's not, but you'll be able to have a better armor on. You'll be able to okay. So on that note, I'm out, and I hope that encourages you. I hope that helps you take some things to heart, and always know that you are deserving, you are enough, and you are whole. It doesn't matter what anyone generalizes and says about statistics, numbers, their experience. None of that shit. None of it. None of it. None of it. Yes, there are patterns. Yes, things have happened, but you are still always ever creating. And you can break generational curses. You can create something new. You can do a lot of things if you give your power to it. You can't be out here doubting yourself and then saying, I'm going to do something different, but I'm just not sure. Be sure. Be confident. I know I am. It's taken a couple years, but I'm doing it, and I did it. And I'm going to continue to keep bringing this thing along. So here we are. And if I can do it, you can do it. And it doesn't require selling your soul. It doesn't require coming up out of sight of yourself and making some stupid, crazy sacrifice that you've convinced yourself that's the way. It doesn't involve any of that. It is going to come to you and be easy. It is going to be for you. It's going to be seeking you. You will know it. It'll feel right. So, oh my God, I just get so passionate about this stuff, but I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. And until the next video, peace. Bye.